Coming up next on Cooking with MFRD, October is Fire Prevention Month, and this year's theme is Let's Get Cooking with Fire Safety. So along with 3 super simple recipes, we'll be sharing cooking and fire safety tips throughout the show. Hi, and welcome to this special episode of Cooking with MFRD. I'm your host, Ashley McDonald, and we've got 3 really simple recipes today that we're going to share with you here in the Discovery Center's demonstration kitchen. First up, we've got Chex Mix. We're going to have Assistant Fire Marshal Tracy Summar, but first you need to grab your ingredients. You're going to need 4 cups each of wheat, corn, and rice Chex. You're going to need a 16-ounce can or bag of cashews, a small bag of goldfish. You're going to need 1½ sticks of butter, 3/4 a teaspoon of garlic powder, a ½ a teaspoon of onion powder, and 2 tablespoons of seasoning salt. So we're ready to get started with this Chex Mix. We've got Assistant Fire Marshal Tracy Summar here to share his recipe, and we've got Special Chef Spencer here with us. He's going to help us out. So Tracy, let's get started.
Spencer, you ready to get started?
Yes, sir.
Okay, the first thing we need to do when we make this is get all of our dry ingredients made. And the reason, I'll show you why that is in a minute. What I like to do is take an empty grocery sack, hold that open for me. Like Ashley said, the first thing we need to do is get all of our cereal in here. We got 4 cups of wheat Chex that we put in there. Now I think you can kind of see how the bag's going to get pretty full. Then we got 4 cups of corn Chex. Then we've got 4 cups of rice Chex. Put all of that in there, okay? Let me set these out of the way so we've got some room to work. Okay, another thing we've got to put in is goldfish. You can put any kind in. Now spread those around.
We're being festive. We have the rainbow goldfish today.
And the last of the dry ingredients that we put in are cashews. You can put any kind of nuts in there you want, cashews, almonds, mixed nuts. Doesn't really matter, that's just kind of what I like. Now, kind of close this up. I'm gonna let you be in charge of this. I can hold it just like that.
Yes, sir.
And then just kind of mix it all in together. Don't hold it so tight. Just gets it all mixed in really good.
Now Tracy, while he's getting that all mixed up for us,
Okay.
you can also use pretzels and Cheerios, different things like that to this to add to this recipe, right?
All right, you can, you sure can. Let's set that out of the way. Now, what we need to do is get our pan out. We went ahead and melted a 1.5 sticks of butter in here, in our pan, got it hot. All right, now Spencer, this is pretty warm, okay? Mm-hmm. All right, now we gotta mix some of our spices in. As Ashley said a while ago, we've got, take this, we've got a 3 tablespoons of seasoning salt, kind of sprinkle that in. There you go.
We added 1 for good measure.
You always got to add 1 for good measure. You got to make it your own. Okay, good deal. I'll take that. And then we've got a ½ teaspoon of onion powder. Sprinkle that in. All right, and then we've got about 3/4 of a teaspoon of garlic powder. All right, now you ready for what makes it good?
Yes, sir.
Okay. This is what we've got to put in now. This is the only liquid that goes in other than the butter. We put in about 3 tablespoons, hold the spoon, don't spill it. Don't make me look bad.
I'll try.
About 3 tablespoons of that, dump that one. There you
And
go.
that's 3 heaping tablespoons.
Oh yeah. Yeah, and then if you really like it, you do it like this right there. There you go. All right, now what we got to do is get that mixed in. Take your spatula, kind of stir it in like a spoon. Let me get that out of your way. Let me give us some room here. While you're stirring that, I'll move this.
It smells good, doesn't it, Spencer?
Oh, yeah.
All right. Got it mixed up good?
Yes, sir.
All right. Now, this is why I like to mix everything in the bag first, because you'll see once we pour this in here how full it's going to get. And you've got to mix everything up really good. All of that butter and all that good stuff we just poured in soaks in really quick. Okay, now what we'll do is take your spatula and go in from the bottom and just kind of flip it up. Get it all mixed in good. There you go. Good deal, good deal.
That looks good. Smells good.
Good deal.
It does smell good. I tend to make messes when cooking.
That's okay. Kids do that. I'll take care of it.
Kids and grown people too. You're doing a good job.
So do you have any interest in being a chef, Spencer? You're
Maybe
doing a pretty
little
good
bit.
job.
I like to cook.
Is this something that you think you could remember to do at home? It's easy enough for you to do?
You know what they say about
yeah.
people that like to cook?
What?
Never go hungry. All right, now you ready to put this in the oven? What we
Sir.
got to do, that's mixed in pretty good. We'll put this in the oven and it bakes in. Oven goes in at 250 degrees for 15 minutes at a time. And in 15 minutes, we'll have to watch our time. In 15 minutes, we'll have to take it out and stir it all up again.
And could you share with us just real quick, Tracy, a couple of oven safety tips for kids helping in the kitchen?
Well, the main thing that you need to understand with kitchen and cooking and all that, you know, cooking can be a lot of fun for people of all ages, not only for young people, but for older people as well. You just have to be careful and use some common sense. Always make sure that you don't have long hair like me, or you don't. Me and you should be pretty safe with not having long hair. Or if you have long sleeves on like Ashley's got, make sure that they're pinned up or out of the way and they don't get in the way of the stovetop or the oven, either one. Always make sure you've got a fire extinguisher handy like we have back here. You just never know when something could happen. And if you have one ready, you'll be always be prepared. And so that's pretty much the tips of it. Just keeping an eye on what you're doing. And the main thing you need to make sure that you don't do is don't burn what you're cooking.
Right.
And I think we've already got some Chex Mix that we didn't burn while we were cooking, and we're going to pull it out and do a little taste test.
We do.
It's a little smaller batch. I think a couple of people may have tried it a little
Spencer actually
early.
got into it earlier.
Oh,
It's all
yeah.
I'm blaming Spencer.
Okay, Spencer.
But that's
Okay.
what the finished
Since you
product looks
tried
like.
it, we'll go ahead and let you try it first, and then I'll
All
take
right.
a bite.
Best you've ever had in it.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, good deal. Good job.
Okay, now I don't trust Spencer, so I'm going to try it, and I'm going to see if it's the best I've ever had.
Of course.
Best you've ever had in it.
It's
There
pretty
you go.
good,
deal.
ladies and gentlemen.
Good deal,
I have
good
to
deal.
admit. When we come back, we're cooking up one of my favorites for parties, buffalo chicken dip. Stick around, there's more Cooking with MFRD on the way.
The Murfreesboro Fire and Rescue Department would like to provide you with some safe cooking tips for inside the home. Keep the area around the stove clean. Remove paper, towels, and other combustibles before turning on the stove. When cooking with oil or grease, don't walk away or get distracted while you're cooking. Watch what you heat. Not doing so can increase the potential for a fire hazard. Keep children away from the cooking area. We recommend a safe area of at least 3 feet around the stove to prevent kids from pulling items off. Know what to do if there's a fire. Keep a mitt and lid close that can cover up pans. And definitely don't try to fight the fire. Get out and call 911. For more information about fire safety, please call Murfreesboro Fire and Rescue Administration at 893-1422.
We're back, and now I'm going to be sharing with you one of my personal favorites that I'm asked to carry to every single gathering that I have to go to throughout the holiday season, football games, you name it. Buffalo chicken dip. Super easy, very few ingredients. You're going to need 1 bottle of Frank's hot wing sauce or any of your favorite sauces. It just needs to be a hot wing sauce or a buffalo wing sauce, an 8-ounce package of cream cheese, a cup of ranch dressing, 2 large cans of chicken already drained, and 16 ounces of sharp shredded cheddar cheese. So I'm here with Rhiannon, and we're ready to get started on this buffalo chicken dip. We've already got in a medium saucepan and cooked over medium heat the whole bottle of hot wing sauce and the whole block of cream cheese. So what we're gonna do now, we're gonna add 2 large cans of chicken that have already been drained. Rhiannon, would you get started on that for me, please?
Ma'am.
See, and she did that nice and easy where it didn't splatter all over me. She's so sweet. Okay, go ahead and pour that other can in, and I'm gonna kinda chunk this up a little bit. The chicken is always cubed when it comes in the can, but you wanna kinda get it a little more shredded, and it just makes for being able to get even amounts of chicken in the dip when you're eating it. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna mix this in really good. I'll tell you what, why don't you stir this for me, Rhiannon, and kind of break up a little bit of that chicken. And while you're doing that, I'm gonna talk just a few seconds about cooking on the stove, the little safety when you're having kids help you in the kitchen. We definitely wanna make sure that the pot handles or the pan handles are turned inward. We don't want kids to come by and knock a pan off, a hot pan off. We don't want them touching the hot handle. So that's definitely one thing. We also don't want any towels or anything near the hot burner. And that's one reason that we've kind of moved our ingredients to kind of make sure that we're not doing that. Okay, now we've got this going. And what we're gonna do now is we're gonna add the ranch dressing. So I'm gonna get you to add half of this bottle of ranch dressing and just squeeze it in there. Okay, now let's turn it up and see if we've got about half, maybe a little more. I like a lot of ranch dressing. You like ranch dressing?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, we're good. Let's see where we are. Stir that in.
That's about half.
Okay. Okay, and it's going to be a really kind of peach color. I don't know if you can focus in on that or not, but it's going to be a very light peach color. That's going to change here in just a minute when we add this cheese. So the main thing that you want to do is make sure that this is heated throughout before you get ready to add your cheese, because you're going to make it, you're going to turn your heat to low when you're going to add your cheese, because you definitely don't want it to stick. And if you'll just stir that for me a little bit.
Yeah.
The main thing that you want to make sure is that you stir this constantly, because it can stick to the bottom of the pan. Okay, so I'm gonna turn the pan to low now and start slowly adding some cheese. If you'll just keep stirring for me. And it may get a little difficult to do it because it's kind of thick, sharp, shredded.
Yes, ma'am.
So do you like spicy stuff?
Sometimes.
Sometimes. I don't think you'll have any problem eating this. I think you'll really like this. You're going to make sure that the cheese melts before you take it off the stove. You want to make sure that your cheese, you don't put too much in. I use the whole 16 ounces. Some people use a little more, some people use a little less, depends on how much you like cheese. For the purpose of this cooking demonstration, we're not going to use the whole bag. So what we're going to do now, Rhiannon, we're going to turn this off.
Okay.
And we're going to pour this into our aluminum pan we have here. And I like to serve this with tortilla chips and also celery sticks, because who doesn't love celery with their buffalo chicken wings? So with buffalo chicken dip, it tastes just as good. So remember, this is hot. So we're going to get you a little bit on a chip, but then kind of blow it off where it doesn't burn your tongue.
That's pretty good.
You like it? Is it too spicy?
No, it's not spicy.
Okay, good. Now I'm going to try it and make sure that it's to my liking, because it is my favorite. Good as always, and super, super easy. When we come back, we have a recipe everyone in the family can make, dirt cups. We'll be back with more Cooking with MFRD right after this.
At Murfreesboro Fire and Rescue, our ultimate goal is the safety of our community. Our Project Safe program offers citizens of Murfreesboro smoke detectors, which we will install free of charge. We have dual detection smoke detectors, as well as specialty alarms for those who are hearing impaired or visually impaired. If you'd like more information, contact the Murfreesboro Fire and Rescue Department at 893-1422.
Next up, we've got a super kid-friendly recipe with dirt cups. The only ingredients that you will need will be 1 small package of the instant chocolate pudding, 1.5 cups of milk, 8 ounces of Cool Whip already thawed, clear plastic cups, 9 ounce works best, a package of Oreo cookies finely crushed, and some gummy worms or some fake flowers. We're going to use gummy worms today. And to make this very special kid-friendly recipe, I've now added one more special kiddo. This is Chase. This is Spencer's brother. Okay, so what we've already done here is we've already put our instant pudding mix into the bowl, and we've already whisked it with 1.5 cups of milk. And the reason why we went ahead and did that ahead of time, it takes 5 minutes to set, ladies and gentlemen, and we're impatient. We're ready to make these dirt cakes. So what we're going to do now is we're going to take this Cool Whip and we're going to plop it. Don't you like that word, plop? We're going to plop it into the bowl. That was a very technical term. And you want to use the entire tub. Don't lick this, Chase, because we're going to be using it, but just hold it for just a minute. Okay, and you're going to whisk the entire tub of Cool Whip into the pudding mixture. And you want to make sure that everything is well incorporated. Okay, Chase, and what do you think we're going to add to this mixture now?
The dirt,
How much dirt?
the whole.
How about 1 whole bowl? You want to go ahead and pour that in for me?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, now we're going to mix all this dirt in here with our nice whisk. And sometimes the whisk gets a little gunked up, so what you want to do is have your helper give you back your spatula and just pass that whisk off. Okay, so we're mixing up our little filling here. And if you all will take a few cups out and we'll get started making some cups, I'm going to get you all to take this dirt. And Spencer, you may need you another one of these cups. There's one right behind you in the dish strainer. And just take a full cup of dirt and put it in each cup. And I'll finish mixing this, and then we're going to put that on top of our dirt. And excuse me. Okay, we're finished with the pudding. We got about 4 cups now already filled with the dirt. We've got our foundation. So, boys, I'm going to let you all put just 1 big dollop on each dirt cup. And then what we're going to do once that's finished is we're going to cover them up and we're going to put them in the refrigerator to chill for about an hour. And I already made some up ahead of time. And already added the worms to the top. The worms are just strictly for decoration. You can also use fake flowers. You can use anything that you would use to decorate dirt, if you can decorate dirt. Okay, so y'all are doing an excellent job on that. Why don't you go ahead and add a gummy worm to each one, to the top of each one. And I'm gonna get you guys a couple of spoons so that you can try this out. And add a little dirt to the top of each one. Because after all, it is a dirt cup, so we definitely want a lot of dirt in there. And the main thing to remember, it can be very easy and very quick to do these finely shredded or finely crushed crumbs. I did it in a blender on pulse, but if you've had a really long day at work, you can put them in a Ziploc bag, put your cookies in a Ziploc bag, take a meat mallet, and just hammer them. It's pretty fun. Okay, so I've got these here that were already chilled. I want you guys to try them. Let me know what you think. Be honest.
Pretty good.
Does it taste
Good.
like dirt? Or is it the best dirt you've ever tasted?
Best dirt I ever tasted.
Just in case you missed something, we want to let you know that you'll be able to view these recipes online as well as the video at www.murfreesborotn.gov and also by visiting Murfreesboro Fire and Rescue Department's Facebook page. Thank you for joining us today, and thank you to my special guest, Assistant Fire Marshal Tracy Summar, also Spencer and Chase and Rhiannon. We enjoyed our time here. We hope you enjoyed it as well, and we'll see you next time.